Ready? Let's get this game going. Hey dude, what's going on? Just playing a game. You're cold. What do you mean you're... What does spooky cold mean? Huh, that's weird. Alright. Let me know if it doesn't get any better. Okay, pretty good hand here to start this off. Let's see. I think I'm going to... What the... Oh no. Vi? Buddy? You okay?
Yeah, hello?
Hey, Taylor? Yeah, what's up, man?
Nothing. I'm just editing the podcast. What's up with you, dude?
Something really weird going on here.
Huh? Frozen cards? Well, that's really weird. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like any of my my cards are frozen, but yeah, I don't know. Let me check through my stuff and I'll get back to you. Okay. Well, weird phone call from Isaac, but the podcast is done. Time to check and make sure I got all of my cards for Worlds here. Oh no. It's ice. I better call Colin.
So cold in here, man. Oh, man. Gotta cleanse this space. Really bad juju. Huh. I bet it's your fault. You ruin everything. Huh? Taylor, what's up, man?
You talked to Isaac? Yeah. Everything's ice. Fi is ice. All of my cards in my deck box are ice. What is happening, bro? You gotta figure this out. You're the only one.
No. Wait, what do you mean? No, I'm busy, man. What do you want me to do about it? I gotta take care of everything. Okay, I heard that.
The Attack Action Podcast is proud to present The Frozen Token. Freeze your enemies and all their stuff. Available only at Worlds. Limited supply available only while supplies last. Catch us at World or be caught in the cold. Let's
Okay, here we go.
And here we are. What a great spoiler that was. I'm so excited, guys. This was a lot of fun.
Totally.
This whole process has been really cool, but yes, we made our own spoiler because LSS did not give us one. And that's fine because this is pretty cool. So
It's the American way, you know? Just
Right.
pull yourself up by your bootstraps, do it yourself. You know?
So yeah,
Don't got a job, just give yourself a job, you know.
just give yourself money. It's fine. It's cool. No, but this was this was a really fun process. We worked with Eleonor, and it came out even better than I had hoped. I was a little bit nervous because you're like, all right, we're gonna pay money, and hopefully we all like what we invested in, and this came out really sweet. I've got the real card. I mean, I've got the digital card, but real card coming in here, nice and hot. Look at this, focused. You don't want to. There we go. Boom.
Hey, I'm frozen.
Oh hey. So yeah, come find us at Worlds, and if you're nice to us, maybe we'll give you a little frozen token.
Totally. Show them the back too.
Oh, the back is good. It's a fish. Bow.
Blammo. There you go. Put that in clear sleeve so everybody knows.
And then hope to God you freeze something at some point.
Very applicable in draft, though.
True.
So since we're going to be playing Uprising Draft until the cows come home, when you glacial horn something, blam. Perfect opportunity.
We also got a couple in foil, so if you're really nice to us, you might get a foil one. But I won't show you. You'll have to see that in person.
Nice. Keep them guessing.
Awesome.
Yeah, we in our last spoiler video, we promised to keep them coming and keep that high value production for our subsequent spoilers. So we just made do, and we're gonna keep them coming.
Totally. It's a bit of a departure from our earlier installment, but I think we're showing our range as a video production crew, director, writer, actors, etc. So pretty good.
We're like a quadruple or quintuple threat when it comes down to it, really.
Totally.
We do it all.
Times 3. So to the third power also.
Right. I get what I was like, there's only 3 of us. We're just a triple threat, but I get what you're
Well, if all of us can do 4 things, that's 12 things.
We're like a dodecahedron threat. It's dope. I feel like I said Eleanor, like, yo, Eleanor, she's our cool friend, but just to be clear, it's Eleanor Piteira. Hope I said that right. Who did Ode to Wrath, Parable of Humility, and Merciless Retribution. Those really amazing cards. Pretty singular style. And yeah, now she's done the Frozen token. So 4 fab cards. Take that.
Huge shout out. I'm very, very appreciative that she agreed to do this project with us. Also, the Retribution is merciful. Not merciless.
It is when Colin plays it.
It kind of is merciless.
I play Merciless Retribution.
The other day, I could not think of the other 2. I was like, it's Ode to Wrath. And then I was like, what are the other 2 cards? It's been too long. It's been like a month since I played Prism, and I don't remember any of these card names now. But
also, go follow Eleanor on Twitter. She does this cool thing where she just retweets everybody else's dope artwork. And I'm like, wow, this is cool. This is cool. Oh, this is fun. So that's a nice thing in my feed that I have from following her on Twitter. So there's another pro tip.
We'll put her Twitter handle in the description. How's that?
Yeah, also go follow us.
Yeah. If you're not already, well, those are already there as well. Awesome. All right. Well, that's our spoiler. Let's get into, I guess we get into the other spoilers.
Right.
The pre-spoiler season spoilers.
Yep. That's our topic this evening. We're going to discuss and react to the Marvel spoilers, and there's been a few non-Marvel spoilers that have come out already for the upcoming set that I'm personally very excited for, because they're not always the best, but supplemental sets have a huge potential to inject a lot of life into the game.
Also, just a sidebar here. If you're listening to this in the podcast feed, there's a heavy video element to this whole thing. So you probably should go check us out on YouTube. So just putting that up front as a feature film at the beginning.
So I was gonna say we should probably edit that out, but it might just be funnier if it's just audio and you don't know what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of our style anyway.
Nice.
But all right, back on track. Isaac, I couldn't agree with you more. The potential of supplemental sets to be really cool is very high, but I do not feel that this way through Dynasty. I'm lukewarm on basically everything. And we'll get into that a bit more as we go along. Just so I don't sit here and pontificate about my feelings about stuff without having any context to the cards. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah.
All right, well,
no,
let's talk
good
about
foreshadowing.
Let's talk about some cards, like just popcorn. Isaac, spoiler card, go.
What, are we doing these in February order?
In whatever order you like.
Okay, sure. So my favorite spoiler so far has been Surgent Aethertide.
Nice.
We all know this is a wizard two-handed weapon that has a once per turn action, first time for wizard weapon. Once per turn action, pay 2, deal 1 arcane damage to opposing hero, go again. Actually, there might be another one that has an action, but this is the first one with go again. And the first card you play each turn with an arcane damage effect instead deals that much arcane damage plus X, where X is the damage dealt by Surgent Aethertide this turn. It's important to note we have yet to see an effect that buffs a wizard weapon's arcane damage, but both Kraken and this new Surgent Aethertide are worded with X. Whether or not that's just for like rules clarity or whatever future proofing, or if they're going to release some sort of highly overcosted spell that like buffs your weapon, we'll see. Who wants to wrangle this one first?
I will wrangle this Surgent Tide of Aether. I don't think we're going to like. If Kraken's Aether Vein comes in for 4 and draws a card, that would be insane. You know what I mean? Like, so what if they are gonna buff wizard weapons? It has to be in like the
We
most
draw 4 cards.
Oh yeah, you would draw 4 cards. Yeah, exactly. See, busted. I forgot it was for Jesus. Yeah, so like
You forgot it was for Jesus. Everything for Jesus.
Yeah, it all is.
Oh man, it's too bad we're on camera because there's a huge tangent about. Anyway, so I don't think it's gonna happen because Kraken would be too broken. Even if it came in for 2 and you would draw 2 cards or 3, it would be too much. So we'll wait and see, but I don't think this is a pre-spoiler to more insane wizard spoilers. That's my take.
Do you have any takes on Surgent Aethertide?
Well, because there won't be anything that buffs it. It's just like not as good as everything else. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's like already Crucible does this, but for 1 less.
That is true. I didn't read the go again on this at first, and I was like, well, this is just bad. 1 action, just deal 1 arcane and hope it's good. And then I guess play stuff at instant, but it's an action, so it doesn't work with Icelander. I don't know. I hope we get something that boosts the staffs. It'd be pretty sweet. I mean, Kraken, it's like, if it's like a 3-cost thing, then you're like holding 3 cards to like boost it by like 1 or 2 and hopefully drawing a card. Like, I don't know. I don't think that would be too crazy, but who knows? I think the art looks dope. I don't Yeah, it's just kind of like a weird thing. It is like the one arcane, but then anyone who's running and who wants to block arcane damage is just going to pitch a blue, block the first one, and then block whatever you have coming after that. It probably is good against aggro, who doesn't want to pitch anything against your arcane barrier. But then, like you said, like Crucible already does this, so I don't. So I mean, that's why I think it must get something that pumps it more. Because why would you pay 2 for this if something like you literally can just do this already for 1 less?
That's how I feel about a lot of these Marvels. It's like, why would I do this? So like, just to.
All right, let's do it. Popcorn, Taylor, next card.
Wait, no.
No?
Everybody settle down. I did not get to
Classic-
talk about my favorite spoiler yet.
Classic Isaac
guys
has
just-
more to say moment.
What? I didn't get to say anything about it.
I
You
thought
guys
you
just
did.
rained on it.
Didn't
No way.
Why'd you pass it to
I just
Taylor?
read
then?
the card. God damn it. You guys are the fucking worst.
We're the best
Okay,
co-hosts you
I'm
have.
going to talk about the card that I chose to bring up first now. Thanks, guys.
Sorry, I was excited just for popcorn. So
Jeez. I can't. All right. I really like this card. We'll see if it plays out as being good enough. But this card works really well in obviously 1-cost decks where you have like Scald and Rain or Lesson in Lava. And I think it's very powerful because if you lead off with this staff, your opponent has to make a decision whether they want to block one or not, right? Without having the information of what card you're going to play next, they have to decide whether they're going to pitch already and how much they're going to pitch and have floating, right? So this really, if they don't block any, this card reads pay 2, deal 2 extra damage this turn, right? But so say you pitch for the staff, they're presented with 1 damage, and then they do pitch a blue. They have an extra blue in hand, right? Then you can like play your Scalding Rain, arsenal your Lesson, or something like that. And if they only have 1 blue in hand and they're pitching for fear of the effect you're going to pump, then you've stripped a card, you're very happy, right? But so say they do pitch a blue to block this staff, and then you come in with Lesson for 3. They still only have 2 floating, and you're still at a break point, and will strip another card if they want to stop the hit effect. Right? You guys see what I mean? Again, not being an instant turns it off for pumping like wildfire and stuff, but it's like pay for it, have 1 floating, and then you're going to deal 1 now, and then the next card's going to deal like 4, most likely, or maybe even 5. Or you're going to strip a card from their hand before they have the information as to whether or not they want to donate a blue to trying to hamper your turn. And like I said, even if they pitch a blue to stop the staff, you play Lesson, they're going to have to pitch a second card to stop that hit effect anyway. If they pitch a red to stop the staff, then they're going to have to pitch a blue again to stop Lesson, and you've stripped 2 cards either way. I think it's excellent.
Yeah, but there's this card called Findal's Spring Tunic, and then they pitch no cards to stop your 1 arcane. You know?
Yeah, totally. And then the next turn, their tunic's not up.
Yeah, totally. But then maybe they just like, dealt you 15 damage and you don't have cards to pitch to deal them 1 damage. I totally understand what you're saying, and I can see how that's like a different play pattern, but I don't understand how that's better than paying 1 resource to guarantee a hit effect gets through, for whatever your game plan is. So, we'll just have to see if there's like more cards that support it. It's like the same thing, like the asking the question about Kraken, like the upside is you play it and then it's like, are you going to block it? But it just like the 1 damage isn't enough to put it over the other slightly more efficient weapons we have already for the wizard archetypes. So if this gets a lot of support, or we get like a third wizard that supports it better, then potentially it could be good.
Dude,
I think those
wizard.
are apples and oranges. It's not at all like Kraken.
It is in the scenario you presented it to be, where you activate the weapon and then your opponent has to make a decision whether or not they want to like block it or not.
I mean, I think my point still stands where then they have 2 floating and then Lessa comes in for 3 and they only have 2 floating, right? So you're still going to get 2 cards for them to block that 1 hit effect, which is just like excellent. Like as a wizard, that's a huge win if you strip 2 cards.
Why wouldn't you want to just pay 1 to guarantee it hits?
Because across the course of a game, you'd be paying 2 for 2 damage instead of 1 for 1 damage. And in a 1-cost wizard deck instead of a 2-cost wizard deck, over the course of a game, that might prove to be more valuable because it does do more damage.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It is, if you do hit, you're paying 2 for 2, which does seem pretty good. I feel like in practice, this might just not contribute enough damage overall. I don't know. I guess I would have to like go back and look at a wizard deck that was mostly 1-cost cards, which would like kind of be, as you say, like the only way this is really good. But I don't know. I'm not gonna write it off just yet until they ban Stormstriders and Classic Constructed.
If we're playing a long game, you're already down 10 health, if you're Kano. So I don't see it yet. I'll need more cards to sway me into, yes, it's good territory.
Tight. All right. Popcorn. Taylor. Is it okay to do that now, Isaac?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to say something about my pick.
I'm sorry. I forgot you didn't say anything.
How about Seasoned Saviour? Guardian equipment offhand, defense for 3, and it says when you equipped Seasoned Saviour, put 2 -1 counters on it, and it has Battle Worn. So equipping is when you reveal your equipment at the start of the game, and Bob's your uncle. You now have a rotten buckler that isn't going to break. Thoughts? Well, okay, here's my thoughts.
Yeah. This is start with your thoughts. You picked it.
So we don't.
We'll go and then we'll skip you.
Look, it makes sense to go now. That's why I thought you would have gone already. I was looking at the card.
So this is kind of a twofer because it has to pair with Reinforced Steel, which is another new Guardian action. Defends for 3. It's called Reinforced Steel. It costs 2, and the red says remove 1 -1 defense counter from a Guardian offhand you control with 3 or less defensive base. And it does not have go again, and it's an action that you have to spend on your turn. So your Seasoned Saviour is able to block for 3 on 2 on the next turn, and then you would have to use Reinforced Steel again to be able to get the full 3-card block value out of it. For me, this is too long-winded, and I don't understand why I would play this over other things that are already better, and I don't know how much more support you can get to get Seasoned Saviour to be like really good. What am I missing?
Nothing. It seems bad. It blocks for 3 if you can remove 2 counters, which
If you spend 4 resources and 2 action
yeah,
points.
4 resources,
Yeah.
2 action points to get it to block for 3 one time, and then it will block for 2 and block for 1. So, it'll block for 6 overall. You spent, 2 cards that also block 6 over that same amount of period.
Right.
But I don't know. It looks dope.
It does.
I think all of the Marvel equipment revealed looks really great. Whether or not it's functional, we'll see. It's funny that it's like all displayed as if it's just like around the Emperor's house. Like, it's not like in a collection. It's just like random different locations where he just has these like legendary pieces of equipment. Just, oh yeah, that's my cool shit over there.
Yeah.
It's like, I got this battle axe in a fountain, bro. Like, chill. It's fucking cool. But yeah, I was trying to figure out like what other cards there's nothing else that removes -1 counters, right? That's our
there's
Forge.
there's a Aura. Yeah.
Forge for War gives it +1, so like
Right.
you could do that. So I guess, with 3 actions and 6 resources, you could get it up to 4 defense, which I guess is pretty cool. But
Forge for War at least has Go Again.
That's true. I think Reinforced Steel would be busted if it had Go Again. But I don't know. In the more aggressive Go Again Guardian decks that we've been seeing, like maybe you just like Enlightened Strike and then Reinforced Steel, and then you do that a couple turns, and then, or you Rouse the Ancients and then Reinforced Steel, and then now you have like a big ass shield, and you're just gonna like block out their turns and profit. I don't know, Isaac. You're a smart guy. You explained that last card to me. Can you explain this card to me as well?
Thank you, sir. No, I cannot. I also really like the art and think that as it stands, this is a bit not great. I also don't like the design because if there is a functional strategy around this card, like through more cards or something we're just not seeing, I just don't like straight fatigue. Like something like Oldhim as it's played now, or whatever, is one thing. But if all you're doing is just blocking and then removing counters, it's a very uninteractive game experience, and I don't want them to give more tools to that. But maybe the use of the shield is something else. It's just like, at first glance, knee-jerk reaction, it just seems like that. So I'm not into it. Don't appreciate it.
Yeah, especially since, so Guardians don't super benefit from having extra cards in hand. You know what I mean? Like, their cards don't scale. Like, in an aggro deck, an extra card is worth like 4 damage. And in a Guardian deck, like, that extra blue is, I guess in Bravo is maybe like worth Dominate. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter so much if you, domination does matter, but it's not like it deal by saving a card by using Seasoned Saviour because it will block for 3. I don't know how much of a damage scale that happens. It does, I suppose, in like go wide decks to block. Now I have a whole extra card to block with in that regard. But so yeah, that's my other situation about that shield.
I'm going to venture into wildly speculative territory and say, like, what if there's a card that's like, if you have more than one, battle worn or -1 counter on an offhand equipment, you can like hit them with it or something.
Totally.
That sounds tight. And you just like shield slam, like boom.
Nice.
Like reckless swing, but for guardians.
Totally, yeah, exactly. It's like if you block with this shield that has no defense value and has this many counters on it, you can like deal 1 damage back.
Destroy it to deal damage.
Coming in with my sword, but just met by a shield to the face.
Yeah, just bounces the sword back into your face and then you die. Dope.
I was just talking about that old trick you perform on your younger sibling where you're like, here's a baseball bat. I'm going to pitch you this basketball. Hit the basketball. And the way the physics works on that is your bat hits the basketball and then bounces back and hits you in the face.
I hope you are not teaching America's children this.
Oh, they already know that one.
I never did that to my little sister.
Oh.
I'm the little brother, so
Just me
it was
then, I
probably
guess.
done to me. All right, popcorn to me.
Yep. Have some popcorn.
Dude, might have popcorn for dinner. Who knows? All right, we'll just do it because it's obviously the most fun one, and it's rock.
Yeah. Yep.
Hell yeah, it
is.
rocks. It rolls. It rocks rock. Nobody sits like this rock sits. It is a brute weapon, rock, 2-handed. Obviously, it's got 2 nice like jug handles on it. It's got what looks to be a face, perhaps some sort of deity from the Savage Lands. Which is a shame that they just stole it from them. But we're getting it back, I guess. So once per turn action, 3 resources, attack. Activate rock only if you have no cards in hand. Damage that would be dealt by rock can't be prevented, and it comes in for 7. So a lot of people talking about this card already. How do you activate it if you have no cards in hand is the number one question, like trending on Fab, Google, and Twitter right now. There's been some, helpful guides already made, some player aids for people to see the various interactions of, pitching a blue, doing something for 1 with go again, and then having energy potion or tunic or something, some combination of weird stuff to have 3 resources that you can then smash with rock, which I think every time you do this successfully in a game, you're just going to feel really dope. And I like that. Just even if it's not good, even if you're like dying to do this, the fact that you can come in and be like, all right, rock for 7. It's just good fun. So, yeah, that's why I like it. It makes me want to, that and like everything else right now just makes me want to play Brute because it just seems like some good old fun. But Isaac, you love Brute. Do you rock?
I do appreciate, I do rock. I do, Colin. I do appreciate a non-RNG addition to Brute. That's pretty nice. Like I half expected the next weapon to just say roll a die and swing for that much damage. Cost 4 and discard a card or something.
Yeah, totally.
But I also think rock's pretty cool because it pairs with like swing fist and some other like underutilized Brute synergies. It's really good when you have a tunic counter up, but I just don't think it maths out to like play out an item to be able to activate your rock once. It just doesn't do enough damage. So I love the card if it came out in like Welcome to Wraith or like something, but it's just like, to me, doesn't math out in modern Flesh and Blood. I mean, we also just have a Nothos, which just does the same thing, but easily, I think rock should do 9 damage, right? Because it's like, you can really only use it once every 3 turns, and only if you're able to float to and have go again from whatever you played. So if you play like Life for Life or Swing Fist or something, and then it doesn't even like that would be, say you have red Swing Fist into rock for 9. That's 13 damage for 3 cards, which is like not even above rate for a lot of decks. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't understand. Maybe I'm griping a little too early. Maybe some new cards will support it and it will turn out to be good. But right now, just like having to activate it with a tunic up and just it's like mechanically very underwhelming and aesthetically very cool. Sometimes as Brute is, damn it. I really enjoy Rhinar.
Yeah, you just described Brute class.
Yeah. 13 is above rate by a point, you know, like Mauve Sky's Shrill into Rosetta is just 12 damage for 3 cards.
Threatening
Assuming
15
assuming it doesn't hit
at a 7
but-
break point.
yeah, assuming it doesn't hit, but you know,
That's also at more weird numbers, but anyway.
yeah, totally. But yes, I agree with you.
That was at 9, rock for 9. It only does 11 in the real world.
Right. Okay, yeah, okay. Gotcha. Sweet. Rock wins spoiler season. I mean it wins for the memes, right? Like the player aids, somebody on Twitter put googly eyes on the Rock photo, and that was, I thought, the best thing. Just the meme potential of it wins everybody's heart. But you know, for all of the reasons you said, is just like it's like my cold foil dread scythe, just collecting dust, looking cool, and it won't even look this cool as Rock, because it doesn't have a Marvel. So we'll see. Who knows? All of this stuff, this is the thing, right? Like you said, Isaac, about supplemental sets is, we're like, oh, we're gonna make copper tokens. What does that mean? You know what I mean? And hopefully it'll pay off in the set. No. Year later, still hasn't paid off. So who knows when it'll be Rock's time? Will it be now or will it be in 20 years?
That's a really good point. We were speculating on the whole new money system.
Totally.
A year before Blood on Our Hands, the one playable card that works with coppers came out.
Look, now we have gold, and now we can all play cash in and wear the crown, and then hopefully Kyloria doesn't steal the gold from us before we see it. I really just think this means that Dromai will run 3 cash-ins, hoping everyone else will have gold, and then Kyloria just steals it, which is like so thematic. Anyways, that's getting ahead of ourselves. I think,
love it.
Definitely it's for the memes. They always just seem to think Brute is more powerful than it is, and they don't want it. I feel like it's on the edge. I think Brute's like at that point where like if they gave it like one busted card, or like it would be insane, or maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know.
I was also just thinking like, what if you like Primeval Bellow into Rock, and then or you Primeval? Well, I guess no, that's not even that good. You're still just coming in for 12.
Well, and you have none floating.
Yeah, you have to do something else. Okay, Primeval Bellow, Rolling Thunder, Tunic, and 2 floating. You can come in for possibly 18 with Rock. Can't be prevented.
Oh, I wanted to mention, can't be prevented means like you can't use Quell or shit like that. You can still just block with your cards,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Not if I intimidated
just in case
them
people
all.
were like, I'm freaking getting in free damage, you're super not.
Yeah, that's unblockable.
Yeah, totally.
We already have the can't be prevented definition anyway.
Are you mad at me or the people? Right now?
No, I don't. We already know what that means. And
I
the
know.
people,
All
not
right,
at
so
you.
Barraging Beatdown, Primeval Bellow. You discard one, so you intimidate 2 cards. I guess that's all you could really probably do. Rolling Thunder. Yeah, no. It's not gonna.
Exactly.
I don't think it's gonna
That's
work
how
out,
all of
guys.
the
I don't think
lines
this
go.
rock's
You're
gonna
like,
work out.
and then you're like, oh wait, it's, huh?
Yeah,
It should be
but not
like
very much.
once per game, you can just hurl this rock at them for 7 damage for free, and just like, or it's like you have
And
that
you
choice.
physically
Like,
throw the card
yeah, you have to
too.
flick it at them. Like,
Yeah.
Nice.
And if it hits them, deals damage.
Nice. That's good.
all
Because then
right.
you lose your rock because you hugged
James
it.
White, are you getting all these notes we have for your Dynasty set?
What Brute needs is like another barraging beatdown type card, right? Because barraging beatdown red is above curve. It gives you +4 for free. Not even that high above curve. Instead of +3, you get +4. Great. But if they block it correctly, it negates it completely, which sucks. So if you had like 3 different cards that rewarded you above curve for your opponent not blocking and being put in a weird situation with Intimidate, I think it could be good because then it adds value to Intimidate. Sorry, that's totally off topic. That's not even about rock. Anyway.
It's fine. We all love Brute. It's part
It's
of our...
your turn, Isaac, to dip your hand into this popcorn bag and pull something out.
Sandscour Greatbow. Ranger weapon.
I
Bow,
thought you were just
two-handed.
making up a word, but that's what it's called.
That's how I feel about every weapon in this set so far.
Yeah, I don't know why it feels like a Dromai weapon, but anyway, maybe it's because of the Emperor. Once per turn action, pay 1. Look at the top card of your deck. You may put an arrow from your hand or the top of your deck face up into your arsenal. Go again. Whenever an arrow is put face up in arsenal from your deck, put an aim counter on it. We don't know what aim counters do. But I really, really enjoy the versatility of this bow in that it, I've talked about the consistency issues with Azalea where you have to run enough arrows that you always draw one, otherwise you're fucked. But then you're running too many arrows, so you draw multiple per hand. And then it's like you can't really capitalize on a 5-card hand. So this bow maybe helps rectify that a little bit in that you can run like more closer to the correct amount of arrows, and because you get to shop on the top of your deck or out of your hand for an arrow without just blind azaleaing. In addition to that, you could also run like Skullbone Crosswrap or still blind azalea to save yourself, and it just ups your odds of like finding an arrow, and might help you have more of those big turns where you come in for like 11 dominate with a hit effect because you're able to, not just draw like 4 arrows or whatever in a turn. So I'm, Azalea has needed a lot, but I really like the design of this card and hope that it will be playable. Giving up the draw on Death Dealer is pretty big. And I don't know if this is actually better than Death Dealer, because then limiting Azalea to 4-card hands, not like 5 cards, or whatever, the extra card from Death Dealer is like a downgrade in power by a lot. So and she was not competitive to say the least with a draw per turn. So this bow's gonna have to put in work to make her competitive with it. Last note on it, it is also usable with New Horizon, which still sucks that those compete for a slot. But so you're able to use this and like float a defense reaction in Arsenal, or like float a Bolton shot till you draw a buff, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I enjoy the flexibility of it and its obvious synergy with things we already have and heroes we already have. This is also a winner in my book because of those things, right? This is like really what you want to see from a class you like. It's like, oh, cool. I can already think of use cases I could have this for, Plus it has the upside of doing aim. It aims. Who knows what that is? Could be good. probably not, because they don't let Ranger have really nice things. So I don't know, but there's a bit of hope with this one. And yeah, you really nailed it, Isaac. Hit the bullseye. I also feel like the artwork that they're like tentacles on the bow kind of looks like an octopus tentacle, which is kind of cool. But so maybe less dragony, more aquatic-y, wherever Kraken Aether Vein is coming from. This sand tentacle bow maybe comes from also. I don't know.
Nice. Good observation.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, great point about supporting left behind heroes, because they could just be left behind forever and the game could move on. So thanks for giving us a bow instead. Colin.
Obviously, this is going to be for the new version of Azalea that's coming out in this set. The
Azalea,
aim
star
counter.
of the show.
Yeah, Azalea, star of the show is going to be really, really benefiting from this ability and the aim counters, which I'm just going to assume is like remove an aim counter and give +1 or go again. Like, I feel like that makes sense. I don't know. We're just saying.
Yeah, people are like, it pierces armor. It weaves through traffic at incredible speeds and then hits a bullseye. I'm like, come on. You can't do all of those things.
It's not reveal 3 separate talented cards and give your arrow +27.
It would be cool if it did like pin equipment. Like if you could be like, oh, even if they don't block with it, just like do -1 to their equipment, which is like,
Oh, yeah.
because you're so good at aiming, you just like hit their equipment in the weak spot.
Yeah, I wonder if the word scour is a hint, because we have the wizard spell Scour that destroys rune chance. But then we have Scour the Battlescape, which destroys nothing. So who knows? Theory goes out the window pretty quick when you peel back the layers.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Looks great. I don't play much Ranger, so whatever Isaac said is correct, and that works for me. Yeah, we'll see. Will this be the set that they give Ranger some nice things that actually synergizes with what they're trying to do, instead of just making them choose between 2 mildly good things that they can't run both? All right.
Taylor, how's that popcorn?
Nutritional yeast, my favorite. I can't choose.
It's kind of like cheese, but not at all.
I'm gonna pick Amethyst Tiara.
Ooh.
So it's a rune blade equipment head. It has blade break, so it defends for 1, and then is Kaputski. Instant. Destroy Amethyst Tiara. Rune chance you control have spell void 1 this turn. Feels unnecessary.
It's solving a problem we didn't have.
Yeah, we don't need this. It's like some of the dopest art so far, which is really cool. And I do like it that there are more ways to have spell void, which is sweet. And potentially this does have like quite a bit of use cases. But yeah. I don't know. It's pretty wild. It's a pretty wild piece of equipment that I'm like unsure what its ramifications are gonna be for the poor wizards out there. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
because now it's like read the runes basically says deal 3 damage and block 3 damage, which is nuts.
Wait, no. Rune chants only deal a damage. I was thinking like if they're destroyed, do they still do a damage? But they're only activated when you destroy them by attacking. So I think it's or.
But
It's
like,
not-
Yeah,
so
but-
you can scour them when they're popping, and they still do damage.
yeah,
yeah,
but that's because they
so-
were already popping, right?
But the like Visceri could attack,
Oh, gotcha.
putting
yeah.
the rune chance on the stack, and then if he gets KO'd in response, or
Yeah.
whatever Icelander,
This just seems mean.
then he
man.
can just block 8 and still deal 8.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, obviously,
Yeah, what the hell?
it's obviously for Icelander, who's probably pretty good into Visceri, but yeah, definitely they're just like making all these cards that are just like, sorry, Kano, like you're never gonna be good ever again.
Yeah, he was like good for a bit there.
Dude, Alexander Vor he got to have that moment in the sun and just like live the Kano dream. Maybe one day again it'll happen. I agree, Taylor. I think the art on this is my favorite. It is just like badass. I don't know, like the kind of like focal length, like the kind of fuzzy background is just like, I don't know. It just looks really crisp. I think this is gonna look amazing in cold foil.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Just as like a cool card. I do think I hadn't thought about, attacking and then activating this, so I think that just seems so mean though. It's like, oh, by the way, don't try to attack me when I've got rune chance, because I'm just gonna doubly kill you. But I guess they could just wait till they all pop and hit them, but still.
Well,
Could be dead.
Sometimes you can't.
That's true. That's true. When they're swinging for lethal with their rune chance, and then they just spell void them and kill you with them, that's amazing. I like the design space of it, of like, oh, here's ways of transforming these, in-game resources into different things and giving them different abilities, which I think is pretty cool. And as a purely defensive move against like an Icelander that's like probably ruining your day as Visceri, it lets you, use some cool like rune chant building cards that maybe have been a bit out of favor lately, and then turn that into like defensive, like possibly defensive actions, which is cool.
I mean,
cool.
if it is for Visceri versus Icelander, I just don't like that design space, because then you're just like enabling an arms race between meta decks instead of like trying to round out the rest of the game. You know what I mean? If it does like just put another nail in Kano's coffin, in favor of just letting Visceri like rise back to top tier, it's just, I don't know, that feels bad to me. But hopefully that's not the case. We have yet to see many cards. I also don't really love Spell Void, because I mean, it's just like armor for against wizards, right? Which would be fine, just like historically Kano, the wizard class, has been like to some degree underpowered and highly skill based, and even with a lot of skill, it's still an underpowered hero. So releasing excessive spell void seems like bad, right? Because then it just makes it even harder for players who play wizard to like have any fun at all. I understand that the game's changed with Icelander now, but I don't know. Spell void just seems like the lazy person's. Anyway,
Nice. We were
You heard it
talking
here
about being
first.
controversial before this started.
If
Now
you
we're
use
doing
spell
it.
void, you're a lazy person. And you don't
I mean, it's
deserve
just
to
so
enjoy this
easy,
game.
And a coward. I think you said that too.
Totally. Hide behind your blues like a real person.
Like an adult, functional adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sideboards and blues.
Look
Like
at the
a
weather
boomer.
report before you go outside and bring the right, jacket. Come on. All right. I've got a kernel stuck in my tooth.
All right. Let's get it out.
Let's pop this baby out. I might need to blast it out with the Hanabi Blaster, which I'm just picking the meme ones because they're the funnest ones of this whole spoiler season. Obviously, anyways, you just started blasting with the Hanabi Blaster, which is a mechanologist weapon, gun, two-handed, not a pistol. It attacks for 5 and says once per turn action, remove 2 steam counters from Hanabi Blaster attack. And it has overpower, which means it can't be defended by more than 1 action card, which is a weird, lazy man's dominate. Just keep that one going. The third time you play a card with boost each turn, put a steam counter on Hanabi Blaster. So this is a mechanologist weapon that you cannot just pay to put steam counters on. It is obviously a boost dash weapon. So if you're boosting a bunch of times, every 2 turns, basically, you're going to have 2 steam counters on this, and then you're just going to blast them for 5, which is thematic and cool. It's kind of terrifying. I feel like it's essentially just a slightly better Talishar because you just end your big boost dash chain with it, and rather than having to activate your Teklo Heart, you just remove 2 steam counters because you boosted so much, and you blast them for 5. So seems pretty good to me.
What I think is cool is that there's no limit on how many steam counters you can have on the blaster. So you could just boost for half of the game and then kind of turtle up in Hanabi Blaster for 5 every turn and just get that lazy overpowered damage on your opponent, which is sick. I am a fan of a blunderbuss, and this is pretty similar to a blunderbuss, and I almost got a tattoo once of one just because I think they're freaking dope. So I'm super into this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
I do really like this weapon also. I hope that it's not too powerful because kind of the balance with dash is if they start going too hard, you can just block them out and fatigue them, right? So they have to play kind of a balancing act, or they have to kind of manage themselves a bit in order to win games. So if this just unleashes boost dash, that would be pretty terrifying. But I don't think they'll do that, hopefully. This being a free weapon, so basically doing it every other turn if you're going balls out is pretty scary.
Yeah.
I do like it though because there was a bit of not anti-synergy, but just the pistol and aggro dash didn't really go together that well. I mean, they could boost and then they start with induction chamber and then pitch the blue they drew or something and pistol twice, which was cool, but it didn't feel like the boost dash weapon. The blunderbuss does.
How excited are you for their high octane turns now?
Wait, can you boost high octane?
No, you it gets you action points.
Oh, right. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you can't blaster because you can only do it once per turn.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's
Sorry.
Good call.
Got
Good
excited.
call.
We solved that.
think-
Don't tweet at us about that.
It's pretty cool that I think once you get is it 3 steam counters on it, you can kind of do it every single turn. Is that the math?
No,
I
it's
think
the same thing with
you need like 5.
the robes.
Yeah.
If you get 5 on
That list.
there. No, if you have 4, I think
Yep.
you're good. Is that right? What's the
What?
math?
No, it still goes down more than you can put it on.
Yeah.
Insert math here.
No matter how many counters you have on it, you're still adding 1 and removing 2 per turn.
Yep.
Unless you do some kind of crazy. Oh no, it's just the 3rd time each turn. So even if you boosted 6 times, it wouldn't work.
Yep. Yep. You always will remove 2 to just add 1. So if you get like,
Colin's in the tag.
yeah, he's got the hype geom calculator going.
Pound my head against the microphone until it works right the way I think it should. I thought someone had explained this to me in a way that made sense, and now that person is full of shit. Or I just didn't understand anything.
All about right now.
I also wonder, just to get us back on topic here, if there's this scenario where you don't use it ever, and then you blast down to like the last 4 cards of your deck, and you have a huge life total, and then now you just say Hanabi Blaster for 5 every turn, and see if you can kill your opponent with like no cards in deck. You know? Wouldn't that be cool?
And what, block with your hand until you are out of
No,
cards?
you just block with your face until you have to block with your hand. You know? Yeah.
Right. Pitch stack 4 defense reactions.
All right. So if you have 5 counters
He did it.
and then you boost 3 times, you go to 6, and then you remove 2. And then on
Now
your
you have
next
4.
you have 4. And your next turn, you boost 3 times, you go 5 counters,
Yep.
and you move 2, and you have 3.
Correct.
And then you do it again, and you have 4, and you move 2, and
Yep.
you have 2. You do it again,
Yep.
you have 3, you remove it, you blast them, you have 2, and then you do it. So you can do it like 4 or 5 times in a row, which is pretty insane. I think that's what they were saying. That it's not that it is till the end of the game, but at that point, if you're getting blasted, if you're getting like, attack for 12 and then getting blasted for 5 at the end of every single chain for like 5 turns in a row, you're probably either just blocking everything super efficiently or you're dead.
And the way that is interesting because the way that dash works is like you're blowing through your deck. So if you can like pitch stack those 4 fire turns or something somehow, meanwhile like boosting and attacking them aggressively, but then if you're going to hit those last like 3 or 4 turns really quickly, and then if they're like really good turns with your Hanabi up, that could be like a really explosive end to your deck, and then you're out of cards, but with the blaster.
But you went out blasting, just pew, pew. Just Yosemite Sam all the way out the door.
All right. So my pick here is Crown of Dominion. I really, really like this card. It's a generic equipment headpiece. Your hero is royal. When you equip Crown of Dominion, create a gold token. I really like this because it's like a splash mechanic, which I really enjoy. It expands deck building in most games. And it takes the head slot, which is usually really valuable, right? Like you're going to have to give up like Crown of Province or, Mask Momentum or whatever is up there. Head slots are usually pretty good, except in Warrior. So they would just have to give up Crown of Providence. But anyway, so I think that's pretty cool that you can splash this in. Doesn't block at all. You're giving up a lot, but then you get kind of royal bonuses, right? That we don't know what those are yet, whether that means you can run royal cards in your deck legally, or you just have things like Imperial Warhorn, which functions much better for you when you are royal. Imperial Warhorn cost 2, is red, doesn't block, and is legendary, meaning you can only have 1 in your deck. It's a generic action item. right? So it costs 2 to play it out, lose your action point. However, it has action 1, destroy Imperial Warhorn. Choose any number of heroes. Each of them chooses an ally, aura, item, or landmark permanent they control. Destroy each permanent chosen this way. If you are royal, instead you choose the permanents. So I really like this card because I very much enjoy like fluid play and kind of adaptability, and decks that like hinge too much on one card or one combo. I don't find that enjoyable as a game mechanic, or believe that there should at least be some sort of counter for it, right? So then if you come up against like say Briar, and you somehow fetch your Imperial Warhorn or get it out early, right? Then you have a pretty good Channel Mount Heroic counter. I haven't mathed it out. I don't know if this card's worth it, but I really liked that being royal makes this card much better for you. And hopefully the royal spice in your deck will make you feel very royal, and wearing the crown will be cool. I really hope to play Royal Dromai. Sounds like a lot of fun. And lastly, I think starting with a gold is really powerful. It's just an item that reads action 2, destroy gold, draw a card, go again. And I think that gold's pretty insane, right? Because once per game, you get to, when you draw too many blues, you get to pitch a blue, have one floating, and replace it. Which that sort of hand fixing from the start of the game is like a very powerful side effect, little bonus, little friendly benefit from Crown of Dominion, and I think that it will be impactful on the game.
I see what you did.
Sorry, I grabbed 3 cards there.
Yeah, you just wanted to talk about 3 cards in one go. So
Yeah, totally.
Next up,
It's
I'm going
fucked
to talk
up,
about
dude.
a cycle of cards. So
I did it. I'm out.
It's messed up, bro.
No, I think I agree. The idea of the royalness is very interesting. It adds like another layer that's not quite a class or talent, and the fact that it can just be granted. I do think it's funny that it's just like, well, if you have the crown, you're the king now, or you're the queen now. That's it. Which is interesting. And then yeah, it seems like a big setup. I mean, all we've seen is the Warhorn and the gold, so I'm sure there'll be other things that are royal related. I hope it's not like too many things, because I don't know, it just seems like a very like niche direction to go in, and it's like if they focus too much of this set on that, then I feel like it inevitably will make the cards impact just on regular classes who don't want to run the Crown of Dominion. It will diminish them. The Crown of Dominion will diminish them. So yeah, we'll have to see, but I do think it sounds cool. Card looks great, so I'm into that as usual. But as far as where this royal stuff is going, I don't know. All we have is our new emperor, who I'm also like kind of meh about, but we'll see. Taylor, take it home.
I'm pretty so on the Crown of Dominion and the Imperial Warhorn. I think we mentioned earlier about like not being super into like arms races between stuff, right? So like we have Icelander with Frost Hex combo. So now we have Imperial Warhorn that like messes with that. So then we're just going to get like another thing that we can do instead of that. That is like something I'm not super psyched on, but so they know it's like pretty powerful of an item, so you can only have one. We'll see if it will be like actually playable and be something. Gold, on the other hand, is freaking sweet. I would always love to have a 4-card hand with a resource floating. My tunic to constantly be charged would be awesome. That would be super great. Unfortunately, I only get 1 gold piece, but yeah, so that's really cool. Yeah, I don't know how much design space we're gonna have for Royal. I don't know. You know, I have no hopes or dreams about this. I just think it's pretty mid is where I would go on Crown of or not even Dichotomy, Dominion, you know? And those other 2 cards that you got to bonus in here as well.
The set's just not like carny enough for you, you know?
Yeah. Where are
I
my
think
talismans?
I think I was kind of mid on a lot of stuff that happened in that too. But let me know if I wasn't in the comments below.
I just remember him being like, Starvo just sounds like a really cool, you know, fun hero for people to play. And I don't think it's too busted. You said that, I remember.
Okay. Okay, so my last thing, gosh, there's like, I don't know if it's our last thing, but I feel like it is.
Let's say it's the last one. So make it good. And don't pick the one I want to pick.
Oh, the pressure
It's okay,
is
you can-
on.
you can pick
Okay, I'm just gonna pick Quicksilver Dagger. Oh wait, before we get to Quicksilver Dagger, what are the odds that Imperial Warhorn is a majestic that comes in cold foil?
Hi.
Like Marvel.
No, like Frost Hex is not a marvel,
Oh,
but it's
yeah.
a majestic that's cold foil.
Pretty cool.
Imperial Warhorn,
Yeah,
cold
maybe.
foil.
I'd say maybe.
Okay,
Yep, I can see it.
I called it. If it happened, remember.
I won't
Quicksilver
remember next time.
Dagger.
I'll accuse
It's
you of something else.
You said Azalea Star of the Show was going to be totally chill, and then we had to ban her also.
By letting her living legend naturally.
Quicksilver Dagger, warrior weapon. Dagger, one-handed, attacks for 1, once per turn action, pay 1, attack. If another weapon you control has gained go again this turn, Quicksilver Dagger has go again. I enjoy this just because now there's like a dagger for warriors, and that's basically it. I'm unsure of how it can be like particularly more potent in replacement of other weapons we have. Potentially, I guess in Dorinthia, Saber, Quicksilver Dagger, Saber could be cool. But like in Kasai, she still just cares about swords for the discount. Doesn't say swords or daggers, I'm pretty sure. I didn't even look this up. I should look it up. But I'm pretty sure it just says sword swing. So it doesn't work with Courage of Blade Hold, which also specifically says swords. So we don't have a ton of synergy, but I like now that there's a warrior dagger because there are cards that reference daggers. Like Razor Reflex says swords or daggers. Are Kodachi's daggers or are they swords?
They're daggers.
They're daggers.
It does work with blood on her hands, but you're right. Her ability is second sword attack.
Swords. Yeah. So if there's some cool dagger support, I really want there to be like 4 daggers. You know what I mean? Or like
Zephyr
you
Needle.
can throw the daggers. Oh yeah.
It's a dagger.
There's also a dagger.
Slice and
But
dice.
now we have a
Daggers.
references daggers.
That's all it is, though. Nothing else does.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So I don't know. Just could be cool. I like more weapons for the most part, but like we've said with a lot of these, gotta wait and see what happens in the set.
I find it hilarious that you're like just cruised right over the Marvel Warrior battle axe to the little dagger, which is fine. We don't need to talk about Warrior.
Dude, it's
I don't have
just
anything to
it's
say.
just bad. It's not good. Okay, I'll do a threefer here. Merciless battle axe, warrior weapon, axe, two-handed attacks for 3. Once per turn action, 3 resources to attack. Whenever merciless battle axe attacks, if its attack is greater than twice its base attack,
Power.
attack gains overpower, which is lazy. This can't be defended by more than one action card. So just bananas. To even give it +3, you gotta spend 4 resources to get overpower. I don't see how this is viable at all in the current card pool. Especially because then like Spill Blood gives dominate, but then you also are giving it overpower and dominate for a bajillion resources. So anyway, for the whole turn, yeah, not great. This is the Dread Scythe of the set. Cool, unplayable.
Welcome to Brute World. But if you have an energy pot and your tunic up, it can swing for 3. Whatever. Sorry, Colin.
Yeah.
What's your take on all this?
Dude, Iron Song response 0 for +3. You got it. Double. Or wait, does it have to be more than
Has to
double?
be over more than double.
Greater than twice.
2 Iron Song responses. Go to 9.
Yep. Now you have 1 left in deck.
And then wait. It gains overpower. So if they already blocked with 3 cards, it doesn't matter.
Correct.
Cool. Yeah. No, we didn't need to talk about it. It's fine.
I mean, there we go. We got
Isaac?
it in there.
Yeah, I agree on the axe. Very cool though. It's very cool.
Yeah. Looks great.
Bad axe.
Same art. Oh, who did? It was
I
same art
do-
as the Sandscour artist, I mean.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Carlos Cruchaga. He's
The
one of
guy
our
who
faves.
did Frostlock.
Yeah, one of our
did he?
faves.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. That guy has some good cards. Kind of flies under the radar because he's never at events or anything. But yeah, definitely have some good art.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, I do really like the Quicksilver Dagger because, like as you mentioned, it kind of solves the so if you rock 2 one-handed weapons in Warrior, you still have to give each one go again, which is like kind of asking a lot because that asks for a card every time. So the Dagger, obviously, right, you can go Centauri Saber, Dagger, and then Centauri Saber again with Dorinthia or something, which is that good enough? I don't know. And the Dagger still costs 1, which maybe is a bit too expensive, but it does, like I said, it does kind of solve that issue of like, well, you know, Dorinthia Sabers, you're never gonna swing 3 times or 4 times because you have to give each one go again. So it's you know,
It's also
kinda
the
smooths
only
that out.
It's the only weapon that is going to work with the Emperor so far, kind of, other than Dawnblade. You know what I mean? From the set, because he can only have reds, so might as well. You know, it costs 1, so it fits in.
Dude, Emperor's
Kraken of red
rocking
decks.
Crucible or nothing at all.
That costs 2 though. Oh no, sorry, I was thinking the Conduit, which is the other wizard action weapon. Pay 2 to deal 2.
Yeah.
No go again.
Nice.
All right, Colin, we're at the bottom of the bag. Are there any tasty nougats of popcorn left?
That's where all the good seasoning is.
Yeah.
The butter drip down there.
Nice. We got some tasty, oversaturated wizard actions down here. Because we're just going to
Hell
go
yeah.
straight into SAP, which
Yep.
was Team Covenant, exclusive, promo, edition, psychedelic, just boss, full cycle of promo cards that they got. Wizard action. Blocks for 3. Full cycle, as I said. I don't know what rarity it is. I think it's a common. It says deal 3 arcane damage to target hero. Then it says surge. If this deals more than 3 damage to a hero, you may remove an energy counter from a permanent they control. And I'm pretty sure that energy counters only...
Tunic and Constellus.
Constellus is the
Yeah,
other
what?
one. Yeah, so it's Tunic and
Tunic my
Constellus.
Surging Aethertide now, Taylor.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
I already did. So this only comes in for 3.
Oh shit! You removed it at instant speed, getting around my sap.
Unless no, wait, no, you can't do that. Yeah, I think I'm unsure if this card is good, but I think the art is super dope. It's the same artist as Erase Face and the
Timekeeper's
Whim. So I think Reardon Delmiro. Sorry, the text was very small. Fucking so dope. That'll be our next promo. We'll get him to do one for us. He also did Brain Freeze and Burn Them All. Oh, I didn't know he did Burn Them All.
Yep.
Yeah, Burn Them All art is hot fire.
And
it's such a
Rewind.
good painting.
Man, yeah. Dope artist. Super into this. Yeah, seems cool. I like the new surge keyword. These fun little things we're messing with people's energy counters. Maybe we'll get more equipment or other items with energy counters on them, and Wizard will be there and just being like, no, just knock it back down. You don't get that tunic. And the yellow and blue come in for 2 and 1, and they both say if you deal more than 2, more than 1 damage, respectively, you get that surge action. So obviously kind of works with the whatchamahoozy Surgent Aethertide. What a name. But also, you could just crucible it as well for 1. So you don't have to pay so much to do it, but seems pretty sweet. I'm into it for all the Wizard reasons, and I don't need any other. So, and you guys agree with me, so thank you for coming to my sap talk. No,
I do. I also, the 0 for 3s are pretty good in Wizard, because it only costs you 1 card, obviously, or hitting it off the top is really nice. And having this, I kind of like adding this hit effect, optional hit effect, but that attacks their resource. Like Wizard always attacks their resources, but now it like literally in print attacks their resources, which I think is kind of like cheeky and kind of cool. Because of this card, I do think the energy counters will be pertinent in something other than Findal's Spring Tunic, but I'm,
What we said about copper tokens.
Yeah.
I just can't not preface everything in my mind with said that about copper,
Dude, we need a shirt.
But
that says
but
that.
there must be though, Taylor, there must be something else.
Totally.
Why would they make the whole mechanic without
I will be gray
support?
before all of this pays off. is my take for Dynasty
Too late.
and
for
Flesh
me.
and Blood in general.
I do think the Wizard mirror gets really interesting if you're both running the Constellus and you're both sapping each other. You're just like, come on, get that off there.
You're already like trying not to cast spells in the Icelander mirror anyway. So this is even funnier. But then it plays into getting energy count. Yeah. The trickery.
It would be cool if you took the energy counter from them. Like,
That would be dope.
it's like, oh, now my tunic has 3, and I'm going to activate my tunic in response and hit you with this.
That would be cool.
Well,
Sweet. We
that's
did it.
That's spoiler
Great.
season. That's the pre-season spoiler season that we didn't know we were getting, and I was confused when it started because I was like, yo, y'all need to wait for spoiler season. They tell you exactly when to release the spoilers. Why are you doing this? Follow the rules. And then it was like, oh no, but we got special spoilers from LSS with a handwritten note. And that's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Was cool, very special. Spoiler season starts this weekend that we're recording it.
We've seen them
Totally
all,
cool.
but we just didn't want to talk about them yet, so we're just processing them.
Yeah, so this is recorded pre the start, before the actual spoiler season, the week before World starts. So we won't have any time to actually talk about spoilers because we will be either cramming for the exam that is the World's tournament or en route. So don't forget to look for us. We have glasses and mustaches and full facial mustaches also. Top and bottom beard for Isaac, just top beards for me and Colin. And then you get that sweet Frozen token when you're like, yo, what's up, Battle Bros? And we're like, dude, what's up? Get Frozen. Hey.
Hey.
And then you'll be like, thank you so much. And then you'll be in your Uprising draft and you'll be like, Glacial Horns, Frozen. And then you slap that down and you win. So you're welcome. Twice welcome.
It's going to feel great.
You're gonna be like, in case, slap down like 6 of them or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Boom, boom, boom.
Because you did a bunch of cool trades with your other homies who also got them. You traded your Crown of Dominion.
Yeah, if
Because
you give
that's
us
how
your
much-
marvels, we'll give you more than one token. So that's our offer on currently as it stands.
Also, over under on surprise boxes being given out of Dynasty at Worlds.
70?
Not likely. Super likely. Oh, you
It's
think
like to the
pretty
crowd, like out of a t-shirt gun.
Yeah.
Just James Gunn launching.
Yeah. James
Gunn,
White.
James White with his gun just launching things with his pop collar.
On top of the Hummer, shirtless, just firing boxes of Dynasty.
Isn't pre-release the following weekend?
Yeah.
or
but
regular
he's
release?
James White. He's just going to be up there going, woo! Just popping boxes.
Hanabi Blaster!
I made this Hanabi Blaster myself. Boom! I've excited my dog now.
Awesome. Well,
Hell
great
yeah.
video. Thanks everybody for joining us. Please do all of the things that you do for your favorite content creators, and that's like and subscribe, leave a comment, follow us on our social medias, etc. It means the world to us, and we appreciate that you made it through this 2-part video. Cinematic masterpiece. Then 3 dudes goofing off together for an hour plus. We appreciate that you were here for all of that, and we can't wait to see you at Worlds. So, goodbye.
Hanabi Blaster.
For the spoiler video, do you have a gun you can pull out of the freezer and go, no, my Hanabi Blaster is frozen.
I do. My shotgun does not fit in the freezer, though. Like, I just took a random, really specific guess.
There you go. Yes, that's the type of problematic shit we need to get a spoiler.